Hello and welcome to the Rock Your Voice podcast. Vocal coaching tips that will transform your voice, interviews that will inspire, industry guidance, and so much more. Without further ado, let's get on with the show.
Today on the Rock Your Voice podcast, I'm joined by Canadian country singer-songwriter Robyn Ottolini. She's a platinum-selling artist. She went viral with her song F-150 on TikTok. And this conversation is really interesting because we talk about the years of preparation that she put into getting ready for her opportunities and how she stepped into the role of artist and how she's managing all of these transitions and changes in her life. Her new EP, Growing Up to Do, is out right now. I highly recommend you go check it out. And without further ado, here's my conversation with the wonderful Robyn Ottolini. Robyn, thanks so much for joining me today.
Oh, I'm so excited. I love podcasts.
Oh, that makes me happy.
No. I like podcasts because it's like a long interview. You get to talk about way more than just like the 5 things.
I've wanted to chat with you for a while for so many different reasons because obviously the network of Canadian country music, and you're down in Nashville though right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm down in Nashville, but it looks like Canada outside because we just got hit by a snowstorm. So
no!
It's a snow day for everybody, and I'm loving it. I didn't know how I'd feel about snow in Nashville, but I like it.
Does it make you homesick? Do you miss Canada?
It made me homesick. Yeah, it made me really nostalgic. Just looking outside, I was like, dang. Just like my car is covered in snow, which is what it would be in Canada. And yeah, it's lovely. And I'm just getting over a cold, so if I cough or need to blow my nose, I'm so sorry.
That is quite all right. We can edit that out for you. You started writing when you were really young. Why music? When did you know that music was your jam and you needed to write and express all of your stuff?
Yeah, I just always loved music. Since like I was a kid. Yeah, I started writing when I was 13 because I don't know what it was or what compelled me. I mean, I loved Hannah Montana as a kid, everything like that. I guess I just always loved music and singing, and it brought me a lot of joy. But nobody in my family sung or anything. Okay. They would play, like my grandma played instruments and my dad raised me on the radio. But like other than that, I had nobody like pushing me in this direction. I just really enjoyed singing.
Okay. And so where did the support come from then? If it was just little Robyn going on a mission, did you just like declare this is what I want to do and everyone was like, let's go?
I mean, for the longest time, I wanted to be a marine biologist because my family is more like mathematical, and I'm mathematical too. But I guess the world kept pushing me this way, and my parents were very supportive, but they didn't know how to help. So they were just like, if you figure it out, cool, great, like whatever you want, go for it.
Awesome.
But yeah, I just kind of kept singing and the world kind of lines things up for you.
How did you figure it out? What was it? What were the steps that you took as a singer and now obviously a successful artist, from going from writing in your bedroom to actually reaching the point where it's like, oh, this is my job?
I definitely did lots of covers, and I picked up the guitar when I was 14 because Taylor Swift played guitar, so I had to play guitar.
Yes.
And I just kept writing every day, and I would play in my bathroom. I just would sit there for hours, and I would do like karaoke in my bathroom, and we'd watch American Idol, and then in commercial breaks I'd go into the bathroom and pretend that I was auditioning, stuff like that.
I love it.
I was just like, I have to be ready.
Yes.
And I would just, I don't know, I was just compelled to do it. My parents would never make me practice ever.
Okay.
I never had singing lessons or anything like that. It was just out of the joy of it. And then I'd play at like talent shows and open mics and keep going. And then I'd do like the 3 hours in a bar, and just kept going. And then it came time when I was like, I don't think anyone's going to hear my songwriting unless I record it myself.
Right.
So then I recorded it and put it out in the world and marketed it as best as I could.
For sure.
With somebody who had no money except like the tip money that I made waitressing. So yeah, I think the only way out is through. So I just kept going.
I love that so much. How did you enjoy the bar scene, the playing the 3 hours and doing all of that kind of stuff when you're working your way up with originals in your back pocket? How did you enjoy doing all that?
Yeah, I kind of actually liked it. It would just be me and my guitar most of the time, and I would just play in the corner of a restaurant or breweries, and people loved it, and they were always kind and supportive. And I'd sneak in originals when I thought they were ready, especially at open mic nights. You could always try an original there. I enjoyed it. Nice. I mean, when you start doing like 4 to 5 times a night on top of waitressing, it gets a little exhausting, but that's part of the grind.
How long would you say before things really kicked in for your career that you were committed to the music and doing that, you know, pulling the double shift of like, this is my daytime gig, but this is my passion? Like, how long were you doing that for before the traction sort of happened?
I said at 20 that I would give music my whole heart. And so I was waitressing at the age of 20. Mm-hmm. And it took me 5 years before the traction really started. Yeah. Around when I was 25, I think, 25 is when COVID hit. Right. 25 or 26? I think I turned 26 in COVID. And then, after that, in like September, my song went viral on TikTok, and I got the traction I needed to get me to Nashville and support my career as just a career, and I didn't have to waitress anymore. So, it took about 5 years of really going for it. Right. It was an EP, a single, and then another EP before I caught traction.
Right.
It's a lot of money when you're doing it alone, but I was good at serving French fries, I guess. I was good at refilling drinks. Thank goodness.
Always handy to have that skill in your back pocket. So how does it feel? Because you probably get, and I'm sure, and this is why one of the reasons I started this podcast, to talk to artists like yourself, to explain to singers and emerging artists and people who want to do this, that it isn't just you throw a video on TikTok and then suddenly you're Robyn Ottolini. It's like
famous.
Woo! Exactly. It's the kind of, I always refer to the 10-year overnight success, and how when we see people breaking those barriers, there's been a shit ton of work behind the scenes for many, many years.
Like, I had been writing since I was 13, and I finally caught traction at 26. Right. So it's like, if you are an overnight person, I feel really bad, because I think you lack the maybe skill that you'll need and the ability to take no as an answer. So it is not an overnight thing. Thank goodness. Because if it was, I don't think you'd appreciate it as much. It's a whirlwind, and it gets harder the farther you go, which I think a lot of people don't understand. Like, the more traction you have, the faster you have to run, which is the wildest part. But hey, it's the dream. So.
It is. That's so true. The more that you have sort of going on, the faster you have to run. And it blows my mind, just as well as a voice coach and working in artist development, when I see people and they're sometimes just being so lazy, and they're just like, when's it gonna happen? And it's like, when are you gonna do some work? Like, do you realize what needs to go into it?
It's gonna happen when you work for years.
yeah, totally. And you work really, really hard. So are you kind of self-taught with voice and with guitar? Did you end up training in any of that?
When I got signed to my first record deal, I got a vocal coach.
Nice.
Because it was just so much on my voice.
Yes.
And I didn't have the tools to keep it alive.
Yeah.
And I found in my first year being signed, I would lose my voice very easily. Yeah. And that's very scary when you're a singer with demands. Totally. And I'm very lucky with who my vocal coach was. And I never had to miss a show or anything.
Awesome.
She kept me going.
Love it.
And gave me lots of, Band-Aids and repairs. Cool. And like, here's what you got to do. And there were some days where I didn't talk at all, just to keep it safe. But I did get vocal lessons.
Nice. Did you learn guitar as well? Did you have guitar lessons? Or was that
I only had guitar lessons my first year. Okay, and then since that, until I was 15, and then
nice.
and then I just wanted chords. As long as I know chords, I'm fine.
Yeah. There you go. And then that's the fun part, is you just like show other people and be like, play my music.
Yeah. The only reason I wanted guitar was just to write music.
Yeah.
So it was just a means to an end. But I'm not in love with guitar the way I am with singing.
Totally.
I do love it.
Yeah, singing is just like, there's something so special about that and so vulnerable and genuine. And I guess, speaking of vulnerable and genuine, your songwriting is it's incredibly honest and real and raw, and I love your songs and I love your music. When I look back, when I was as a teenager writing songs, and even a little bit older when I was writing and recording and stuff, I was real out there. I was so honest with everything. And one of the albums I did was actually at my dad's studio, and he helped me produce it. And now I look back, I'm like, holy shit, I was saying all of this in front of my dad. Like all of this stuff. I'm like, what? Have you ever got to a point where you find you censor yourself more, or you hold back on what you really want to say, or are you always let it all out?
I'm pretty balls to the wall because there's just no other way. For me. And yeah, like I just released probably my most vulnerable song called Sick of Sex, and I played it. I opened up for Shania on tour in 2023, and I played it in front of like thousands of people. And in the back of my mind when I'm singing it, I'm like, you're an idiot for doing this. But and like my dad's in the stadium and everything. The mayor of my hometown's in the stadium. But it's just like, yeah, there's no other way for me to do it, at least. Like I think I would get bored of singing basic songs. Just personally, I know for other people it makes them happy and they enjoy that, but for me, I really enjoy being really vulnerable and the shock value that it brings, and it makes me laugh.
Do you find that there's the fun side of it? Do you find sometimes that it's quite an emotional toil on you too when you have to go there with your songs, or are you quite good at balancing that?
I think for me, I'm going to be toiling emotionally anyway. I'm such an overthinker. Like with Sick of Sex, like those emotions are already in my mind. I don't have to dig for them. I'm already going through it. So I'm like, I might as well put it to a melody and get it out of my head. And I find songwriting helps me to stop spiraling on emotions.
For sure. That's
so
awesome.
The quicker that I write it down and get it on a page, the faster I can like be a human.
Process it, and there it is.
It's get rid of it.
How do you feel when it's on stage and you're digging into that stuff? Do you have a technique to kind of manage it and not really kind of experience those emotions again and perform or do you let yourself go there?
I let myself go there. I had, I don't know, you know how you're touring and you work with someone and then 6 months later you work with them again. But when I was getting ready for the show, I had a performance coach who I find I'm just such like a happy, silly person that to like connect was hard. And they said, just listen to your own lyrics and like, don't think about anything else. And I found doing that would put me right back into the place, which I found very interesting because it's just like how so easy. It's just, if I just really focus on what the lyrics are saying, I go right back into it. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
So you've done your EPs, you've done your stuff, you're working on marketing yourself. And then how long had you been hustling on TikTok before F-150 kicked in?
TikTok's funny because my boyfriend at the time loved watching TikTok, so I would watch it too. So my algorithm was more comedy. And I would do like lip syncs to like comedy. Like I would do jokes. And I would get no views and no likes because I was a nobody from nowhere. And then I actually went to my neighbors and he said, people like their lives change with music on TikTok. Like you should post your music. And I was like, oh, never thought of that. And I think I was posting for maybe a month before F-150 went viral. And that was 6 months after. It was 6 months after F-150's release. So the song was already out. So when it went viral, everyone could just go stream it immediately. Which was fantastic because
That's awesome.
You know, they get so tired of waiting for music on TikTok. I'm trying to like think. I should look back and actually see how long I was doing it. But before F-150 went viral, I had a viral video with another song called Good Shit and stuff like that. So I kind of started to grasp the magnitude that could happen.
Right.
But yeah, Good Shit's virality is nothing compared to what F-150 did.
Right. And at that point, were you signed when F-150 came out? Were you already? No. Okay. So then everything sort of snowballs, and it's kind of wild actually, because that was around the same time that I met a mutual friend, Kurt Dahl.
I love.
Yeah, it's so funny. Whenever I mention him on the podcast, everyone's just like, "I love Kurt."
An angel.
So I refer to him quite a lot on the podcast, because I'm always telling people like how freaking important it is to have the right team and the right people in your corner. And so when all of that kind of process happened, how did you know, or what, like who called you? What happened? Where were you pushed and pulled? And was it kind of a bit hectic and chaotic, or was it like, this is awesome?
It was hectic and chaotic and very scary. It was like COVID, and I mean, I got my first DM was my publisher now,
Okay.
DJ Hill. But I started getting DMs from A&Rs, from labels.
Right.
And then in my millennial, I'm old enough that I grew up with the internet, but also am aware of scams. Brain was like, this isn't real. These people aren't real. But then I'd start Googling, because I like to do research.
Yes.
And I was just like, holy shit, like this is weird. And then my management hooked me up with Kurt.
Yeah.
Which was great, because he's the best. And then, I had like 10 labels from Nashville chatting with me, and a bunch of publishers and booking agents.
Amazing.
And CMT. And it was such a blur, and it was really stressful, because people promise you so much, and they're telling you how great you are, and you're like, I'm just a girl from Canada, so the imposter syndrome was insane.
Right.
And I remember I started therapy like that week.
Good.
I was like, I need a therapist immediately, because it was just so much. And I ended up going with Warner Music Nashville and Warner Chapel. And I've since been dropped from the label as of last year, which was really hard.
For sure.
But therapy.
Yes.
All good.
Yes. Part of the flow, though. It's part of the journey. It's
I'm always told you don't get success until like your third label. So
I always say if you're paying your bills doing something that you love, you've freaking made it. Like, that's...
Yes. That label got me so much and did so much for me that I never would have been able to do alone.
Yeah.
So it was definitely amazing. I think without COVID, I probably never would have got signed. But because of COVID, I think a lot of my career got put on hold. So it was a catch-22, but I'm definitely happy it happened.
So then obviously Kurt was part of the team.
Negotiations, yeah.
What did your family, because again, not having a family that was in the industry, so who is your ground level support? Because sometimes some people are just like, my dad was in the industry, or so-and-so was in there's someone in the family who knows. But if you're stepping into such a big transition so quickly, who were your people, and how did they help you keep yourself grounded, for want of a less cliche term, but keep you in the straight and narrow?
I think the support system, I mean, Kurt was a big support when it came to it all. He was just lovely. And then I have 2 managers, and they helped the best they could. I was their first artist that they were managing, and their only artist. So
cool.
It was pretty new for them too. So Kurt had like been through getting a label and contracts. He'd been through it all, and he knew how stressful it was. And he was just like, this is unprecedented, just because like there was all these artists getting signed from TikTok. And he was like, this is just unprecedented times. So he was really patient and kind. And then obviously the therapist was great. Yeah. My boyfriend at the time was very nice. But yeah, I didn't have many people in the industry to lean on at all. I had like a few songwriting friends. My friend Lydia Sutherland was a phone call away. And my parents, they're chill. I mean, my parents love me no matter what. So they had no idea what was going on, but they were stoked,
right?
You know? They were like, I don't know what a record deal is. And even like my high school friends, they're like, I was like, yeah, I'm like signing to a major label in Nashville. And my one friend was like, is that like good? Like, what does that mean? And I was just like, you know what? Yeah, maybe it's not that good. I don't know. Is this good? So I have to say, like, I think Kurt and my managers were probably the people to lean on the most.
Right.
But yeah, Kurt took a lot of phone calls with me.
Yeah, that's so awesome to have that, because you hear of just so many disasters and it's just like, what? And you actually just said it right on in the beginning about you practicing for your Idol auditions in the commercial breaks, about I wanted to be prepared for when the opportunities, and literally the podcast that I just released yesterday was all about that, being prepared for when these opportunities arise, because when they do come, it's gonna be fast and it's gonna be hectic and it's gonna be crazy. So you better have your ducks in a row. I think it was just Sam that had won Idol, and then it all went to shit because they didn't know what it meant, signing your life away to Disney. It's like, this is great. It's like, is it though?
I always say if I go on a show like that, I always want to get second place.
Yes, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
I want to get second.
Yeah. Yep.
Because then I can get the fans and get the momentum, but not get the contract.
Exactly. You want to be what, Adam Lambert? I think he was a non-winning success story.
Yeah.
But yeah, totally. That's the way to do it. But being prepared for, and like you said, with your voice, the guitar, like when you're thrown into a really busy, hectic routine, if you don't have that, and thank you for saying therapist, because honestly, everyone that I work with, I'm like, do you have a good one? And I'm not being ironic or comical. I'm just saying, like, do you legit have a good one? Because it's so important.
You need someone who's going to tell you, like, take a break.
Yes.
Protect yourself. Say no.
Yep. And singer brain is, I think it's something that's just natural within singers, not only from like a vocal mechanism perspective, but from just personality. We try so hard at everything. And like you say, to have someone to be like,
perfectionism.
Yes, to go and be human. So that's really fascinating, actually, because listening to your lyrics and how genuine and kind of chill everything, like you're just like, this is it, you know, this went this way, that went that way. Are you like that day to day? Do you manage things that way day to day, or do you carry things quite heavy? Or
definitely, it depends on the time of the month. But I do care too much, and I think for like the first year and a bit that I was with the label, I cared too much, right? And I put a lot of pressure on myself, and especially imposter syndrome. I was like, I don't deserve this, and I'm not good enough. And I had a lot of like repetitive thoughts that never went away until recently. I did some intensive therapy and they've gone away. It's so freeing.
Amazing.
But yeah, I used to be very nitpicky, perfectionism, hard on myself, hard on my team. Just being like, if you want to be the best, we have to be the best. And now in my ripe age of 28, I'm like, you know what? If this is all that I have, and this is all, if this is as far as I've gone, that was good enough for me. Like, this is great. Anything else that I work hard for, I will really love. Yeah, and I won't take it for granted.
Yeah.
But I've definitely learned to calm the, can I swear
you can
here?
Say whatever you like.
Calm the fuck down.
Yes.
And just appreciate the smaller wins.
Yes.
I think I wasn't able to appreciate the big wins because I had so many so quickly that now I'm like, any win you get now, you celebrate.
Yes.
And yeah, it's harder than you think though. When you've been given so many great opportunities, it's hard to see how amazing they are.
The smaller steps too. It's so interesting. I had a big conversation with some people the other days about this, about how we have these big goals And again, singer brain of like, this is what I have to achieve to validate myself as a freaking human. It's like, no, it's like, but what are the 80 steps that you took to get even close to this big goal? Like all of those things, it is huge. Like all of those, leaving Canada, moving to Nashville, that's got to be crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still more a permanent resident of Canada, but I'm definitely down here quite a bit.
It's a big
change. Like I'm gonna jump into writing this year.
Nice.
More than I ever have.
Love.
Because I always wanted to be a songwriter.
Yes.
Like before everything, like I love singing, and now that I'm an artist, I really love being an artist.
Yes.
But I always started with songwriting, and now I'm kind of like, what would it look like if I gave all this time and energy to writing? Like, how many songs could I get cut? How many artists could I help tell their story?
Yes.
And I'm really excited to open that field this year. But yeah, like I'd always wanted a record deal, and I never imagined I could ever get there.
Right.
So like, just the fact that I did that is insane to me. You know?
It's huge. Like it's huge. And where you're at and where you're going, if the past is going to show you anything, you do not know what is around your next corner.
And I used to never be able to sell like a ticket to a show.
Right.
And then I just went on my first headlining tour in Canada, and like I could sell tickets. And I'm like, that is success to me.
Yes.
If this is as far as I go, if this is all I do, this is amazing. If I can sell it in an arena, amazing.
Yes.
But for now, this is amazing.
Yeah, you're doing it. And I think that is fantastic. And that's a good way to think of it, because otherwise I think it's quite terrifying. And it's been quite a hot topic too, of how every interview that people have when they're talking about their new album or their tour or whatever, it's like, well, what's next? It's like, no, what I'm talking about right now is what's next. It's like, please, can we just work on what is versus...
That is always a question too in every interview.
Right? And it's like, but what is? Can we take a minute to appreciate all the hard work that got you to this moment right now is what is so important, because that mentality I think is really dangerous for artists. I think there's people really need to take more focus on mental health for artists' well-being and such, as well as like, and I'm obviously a nut about The Voice, because so many artists will reach out to me in the middle of like festival season and be like, I'm screwed. I'm in the middle of tour or festival season and my voice is crapping out. Please help. And it's like, why are people not taking care of you? You are the moneymaker. You are the tour bus. Like if you break down, the bus is screwed. Like
you are literally the business.
So yeah, I go off on a bit of a rant when it comes to things like mental health and voice health and all of those kinds of things. But I think people really need to give artists a bit more grace when it comes to what are you working on, what are you doing throughout producing content and all of that kind of stuff. Like
especially now that content's such a big thing.
Like your face.
Just like, it's not enough that we write the songs, we sing the songs, we perform the songs, but now we have to make content for the songs and constantly be in front of people's faces. And luckily, I love making content.
Good.
But I just think it's its own job.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, I would love to make content every day, all day. But like, I would also like to write my music, and I'd also like to perform my music in front of people. So I think I'm just learning how to make content doing what I love. So like, I'm already in the writing room writing the song. Let me just put up my camera. And show them a clip of the song.
I love
that.
Oh,
I'm already on stage. Somebody record it.
Totally.
Make me feel harder than I already am.
Exactly. You know? I'm doing enough here. Now that we're not working with the label, do you actually find you have more freedom to actually just do stuff that you want to do? Like, did you have pressure to do certain things? Like your content has to be of this standard and certain things have to be like that way or what have you?
The label was really happy with my content making. Yeah, they would be like, we have to chase some people to post, but you post willy-nilly because I'm just
nice.
I like it.
Yeah.
So they were always happy about that. I just found what I wanted to release wasn't what they wanted to release. Sure. I don't even know what they wanted to release. Beats me.
Yeah.
But I definitely wanted to be releasing way more music than I was.
Right.
And then I got free, and there's no bad blood with them. They were very kind in my departure. And then, I just released like a bunch of music, and that was great. But I think not being with a label, I feel less secure.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, like, because they at least have a budget if I ever wanted to make music.
Totally.
And they agreed to it.
Yeah.
I would have it paid for. But now it's like, okay, you don't have a label, which is a big look to have also. So it makes it harder for festivals and shows and all that stuff. Now it's more all on me to prove my worth, which is definitely scary. But it is more freedom to do whatever the heck I want.
Yes. I'm like seriously rooting for you because it's all there. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you've got it, you've proved it, it's there. The imposter syndrome can go away immediately because you have it. And I also think, oh God, at the risk of sounding like an old bat and being really patronizing, you're so young, and like I saw you play at the CCMAs.
And I was in like a black knit thing.
Yeah. Super chill.
I was hungover.
I think I remember you saying that too.
I made it.
You did it.
And I remember my voice was tired.
You sounded great. No, it sounded great. And that actually, hearing you say about going off to work more on your songwriting, that makes me really excited, because I really enjoyed that showcase from like a songwriter's perspective and hearing the stories behind it and everything. That makes me happy, because I'm like, you seem to be like in a really good element, even hungover. If you can pull that off really hungover, that's
no, I love writers' rounds, especially because I was right next to Andrew and he's my friend.
Nice.
So it's just like, you know, you got the banter.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Oh, so good. You're going to be digging into your writing. I hate this because now I'm going off into a what's next tangent, but I don't want to go into a what's next tangent. So
okay. I'm a pro. I got stuff to tell you.
You do. I know you do. You got lots going on. You're going to be touring again in March. Hey, you're.
Yep, you're touring in March. I have an EP coming out this Friday. I don't know when this episode comes out.
Well, we will plug the shit out of the EP because it will be coming out very soon. So yay.
Please. And then so EP, tour, and then just writing.
I love it.
I'm literally excited. When I say just writing, I mean just writing. Thank God. Just writing.
I am so excited for that. Because honestly, that songwriters round was like, that's where that's her.
I love songwriting.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
That's really
I needed it. I think I've been asking for it for years, and the universe finally said, "Here."
Totally. Okay, so who would be your like, I am gonna pass out, throw up, do all the things if they come and they're like, I want this song, or I want you to write for me?
Sam Hunt.
Okay.
Maren Morris or Casey Musgraves.
Yay! I love all of those suggestions.
If any of them said, hey, what you do, I want it, I would be really happy.
I love that so much. I love that so much.
So we'll see.
We'll see. Let's just throw that out there for this year. And then next year, we'll catch up and see how many songs they've recorded of yours.
Okay, sounds good. We got this.
We totally got this. So yeah, that's amazing. I love that. And I wish you all the very, very best with that journey, because I think that's going to be so good for you. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you would like to share, Robyn, about anything that you need people to know? What is your parting words of wisdom?
My words of wisdom: be nice to everyone, because the same people on the way up are the same people on the way down.
That is really good advice.
That's what I got. Always be nice to everybody, because you never know who's gonna get ahead and when you're gonna fall behind.
Yeah, so true.
And also, being mean's just like boring.
Right? Mean people suck.
It's too much admin for me.
I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat, especially as you've been sick and everything. I really, really appreciate it. So chill, get better, take care of yourself.
All right. Sounds great.
All right. Well, you take care and have a good day. Thanks so much, Robyn.
Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Robyn, thank you for joining me. Please do go check out Growing Up To Do, which is Robyn's new EP. You can stream it at robynottolini.com or anywhere else where you get your music. Also, please check out rocketvocalstudios.com if you want to head down to Nashville with us this April. We are going on a rocket road trip for singers and songwriters. Check it all out. It's at rocketvocalstudios.com/retreats. Thanks again, Robyn, and I will be back with more very soon. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you do leave a review, it's really useful to help others discover the show. You can also check out the weekly vocal workout over on Patreon. I'll leave the links in the show notes, where you can access weekly vocal training from yours truly and totally rock your voice. Thanks again for listening. Check out Rocket Vocal Studios on social and on the web, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.